Mike Capola. Welcome to FYI Foxboro. You probably have known of a woman that has been raped or has been assaulted, and we're here today to talk a little bit about that and give you a little bit of demonstration on what you can do and how you can find out more about it. And I'd like to introduce my special guest, Master Lorne Therrien. Is that how you would say his last name? Great. Lorne is the owner and operator of Modern Warrior Academy on Route 152 in Attleboro, 250 South Main Street in Attleboro. Lorne, thanks for coming on the program. One of the things I did want to mention to everyone is that you are also the founder of Women's Rape and Assault Prevention Program, WRAP. And I know that you do seminars all over. It's really, how long do your seminars usually take?
It depends, Mike. It takes anywhere from a 3-hour seminar, which is a short course, to a 6-week seminar, which is a long course.
Wow, that's pretty good. And have you found a good response to this kind of approach to a woman's self-defense?
Yes, I have. I found the 90s a time where women want to be more educated in this topic.
Tell us a little about WRAP.
Okay. I founded WRAP. I've been teaching since 1986 throughout the New England area, doing seminars, teaching in community centers and YMCAs, and that's also at my school, the Modern Warrior Academy. And what I do is try to educate women in the mental and physical aspects that they need to survive in today's world.
We had talked a little bit before, and you said, look, there's steps that I go through. I want to be sure that people, when we go through our seminar, take the right approach. And the first thing you talked about is prevention.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Okay, I always look at prevention being number one. Prevention is how not to be a target. Okay. An example, this might be what I call the power walk. When a woman's out shopping or if she's out doing her daily errands. As she walks, she wants to portray confidence. She wants to walk with her head up. She wants to survey the area wherever she's at. Okay? This way there, an attacker is going to look at a person if they look timid. In other words, if they walk with their head down, if they look timid and weak, the attacker is going to look at this person. They're going to say, they look timid and weak. They know it'll be easier for them. If they see another woman walking down the street and she portrays confidence and she surveys the area. Now again, when you're surveying, you don't look at everybody and look cocky as if I know self-defense, don't mess with me. No. You want to look as if I've seen you, okay? I've looked at you, I've seen you, and again, I carry myself, my head up, posture, nice and straight, and I walk with confidence, not too fast, medium stride, but with confidence. This way here, they'll look at the person who's timid and weak. That will be the person they'll go for.
Yeah, because most of these people are cowards to begin with.
Exactly.
Bullies.
That's what they thrive on. They thrive on your fear. Yeah. So if they see someone who's very confident and walks very strong, they'll look at the next person who's timid and weak and they'll go for that person. They don't want to have any type of hard time. They thrive on that fear.
Is that something that is hard for your students to get a hold of, or is this something they can pick up?
In a 3-hour seminar, again, it's a very minimal amount of time, but again, I constantly go over it. I try to stress, again, mental aspects more than physical. I want them to be mentally trained. That way there, when they go out, they'll have that mental edge they need.
So when you say mentally trained, I mean, are the prevention part where they have to look confident, they have to look like they're not going to be intimidated. Mm-hmm. But what do you mean by a mental? Are you talking about they keep reminding themselves that that's the way they have to look, or you're talking about something else?
Again, when I talk about the power walk and when I talk about mental attitude, that's just a few of the aspects of prevention. But with the mental attitude also, I try to teach them how to turn the fear into anger. Okay? An example of that would be if you're going to be attacked, you have to think in your head, this person is not going to rape me. This person is not going to take my life. You have to think of your loved ones, your job, your career. And from this, you turn that fear into anger, which will make you stronger. If the fear conquers you, then all the martial art training in the world won't do you any good.
So it
you have to
sounds
be-
like you have to, your mental attitude has to be one of survivorship.
Exactly.
You have to want to survive.
I want to survive. I'm going to live.
Yeah.
I'm going to win. That's the attitude I try to put into them in a 3-hour seminar as well as in a 6-week long course.
I know we want to spend some time actually demonstrating, and Jessica McGonigal is going to come in here and you're going to show us some of the things, and I think that's important for people to stay tuned, because this is going to be very interesting in how you can actually show some quickly. Obviously 15 minutes you're not going to be able to do a heck of a lot,
Sure.
but I think it should be a real education, and kind of hopefully whet the appetite of people that there is something they can do for themselves. But what do you teach them to get that feeling of wanting to survive, to churn it into anger? How do you do that?
Okay. From constantly letting them know that they can win. Okay, constantly letting them know they can win, and giving them techniques that are simple and effective that they will see right on the spot that they can do. What happens is we look at the self-defense training as far as we always think of the high kicks and a lot of the fancy techniques that we see on the movies. And what I do is give them techniques that they can do the minute they come in. During that 3-hour seminar, when they leave, they have techniques that they can do on the spot. And they develop confidence by seeing it's something they can do.
Confidence, that's the word, isn't it?
Exactly. Confidence is the key.
Right, because confidence is able to change their mental attitude.
Exactly.
And also, going back to the first thing, prevention. If they're confident that they are going to be confronted, their appearance will be different. They'll have
Yes.
that appearance of being confident.
Mentally strong.
Yeah. You talked a little bit, I think you mentioned a little bit about awareness. Do you mean aware of what's going around them?
Okay. Awareness, what it goes is prevention is first, okay? And we also want to have the mental training at the same time as prevention, because that is equally as important. And then when we get into a situation, this is what I call awareness. This is where, okay, now I'm confronted. What do I do? Okay. Is it a high risk or a low risk situation? Each one's going to be treated different. Am I defending myself in a mall where there's a crowd around me, or am I out in a park where it's 2-3 miles to civilization? Each one has to be treated different. This is awareness. Do I have a car to escape in? Can I run? You know, is there something I can throw at this person? You know, barriers I can hide behind? There is so much that falls under awareness. This is also the second most important in the way I take my steps of teaching self-defense.
In a couple of moments, we're gonna take a break, and we'll come back and we'll have a demonstration.
Okay.
But what I want to ask you about that awareness, it's kind of like when you always are told when you go into a theater, for instance, the first thing you do is you look to see where the exits are, where the stairway is. Same kind of thing. When you go into any situation, you train people on what to look for,
Exactly.
and that's the awareness that you're referring to.
Exactly. I want them not to think that I'm trying to make them paranoid, but I'm trying to think them just to use common sense to avoid these situations.
Lorne, hold tight. We're going to go over. We're going to do some demonstrations. I think that should be very interesting to everybody. And stay tuned.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Shh, Smokey's coming.
What are you guys up to?
Oh.
Be careful with matches and campfires. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Sorry, force of habit.
Bummer.
Hello, we're back. Again, I want to introduce Lorne, and Jessica is with us, Jessica McGonigal. And Jessica's going to help us show some of the things that Lorne teaches in his seminars. Lorne, go for it.
Don't mind. Okay. Okay, Jessica, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you by taking you through some hand strikes for the upper body. How I teach the woman's self-defense is this. You have both weapons of your upper body, which is from the waist up, and you have weapons from the lower body, which is from the waist down. I have, being the attacker, I have a high line to attack, which is my head. I have my mid-level, and I have the lower part of my body. You have to think in your mind what part of your body is going to be free, whether it be your upper body or your lower body. And then you have to look at me being the attacker, and you have to say to yourself, what part of his body is available? His head, okay, mid-level, or lower part of the body. And before we do this, you have to think, is it a low risk or is it a high risk situation? Okay, low risk being, I might just be putting my arm around you, you know, being a little fresh and making you uncomfortable. Or is it a high risk situation? Am I choking you, strangling you? Okay, that would be a high risk situation.
Okay.
So you have to assess that first in your head, low risk or high risk. Then you have to think, am I going to fight or am I going to give in? Hopefully, I hope you choose to fight, okay? If you choose to fight, you have to give 100%.
Okay.
You never can stop halfway in between because it can escalate and get worse, okay?
Right.
So you have to choose if you fight 100% and always remember that you will win, okay? Be very confident. Okay, so the first few hand strikes we're going to do. What we do is, when we're in a self-defense situation, we don't have time to get in any fancy type stances, okay? So what we're going to do is just stand with our feet in a natural stance, just like we're naturally standing. Our hands are up. The first hand strike we're going to do is a palm heel strike, okay? The palm heel strike, what you want to do is strike with the bone in the palm, okay, here. I don't teach women how to punch with a fist. The reason being, if I told you to punch the floor, okay, you'd be shaking your hand would be hurting, okay? If I told you to palm heel the floor, you probably wouldn't feel a thing. So the palm heel is a natural weapon, okay?
Yep.
So from here, what you're going to do with your right hand is just thrust straight out. The target area is usually being underneath the nose or underneath the chin. Again, thrust straight out with a palm heel underneath the nose. And one more time, palm heel. Let's try it with the left hand. 1, and 2, and 3. That's a palm heel. See, that's an upper body weapon. Okay. From here, we're going to go to a lower body weapon. A natural lower body weapon will be a foot stomp. Okay. With a foot stomp, what you're going to do is raise the foot up, and you're going to strike with your heel down on top of the instep of the attacker's foot. Let's try it again. Raise it up.
Down on top of the instep.
Exactly. So if you were to strike to me, you'd strike with the, turn your foot to the toes out to the side, and strike with your heel right down here on top of the instep. Okay?
Oh, on your foot.
On top of my instep. That's
That
it.
way.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
a foot stomp. Okay, so I look at it as whether if they're in front of you or behind you, unless they're levitating, they're going to have feet. Okay? And you'll always be able to stomp on the foot unless they lift you up off the ground. Stomp on the foot from the front or from the rear. So let's try a few of those. From the front, 1, stomp down on the foot. 2, stomp down the foot. Now behind you, can also be behind you.
Right.
Look to the rear, stomp down once on the foot, and 2, stomp down again on the foot. So we've got weapon on the high side.
Yep.
We've got weapons on the low side. Okay. One more will be the knee. Naturally, from the knee, just rise the knee up. Okay. From here, rise the knee up. Target area will be the groin.
Okay.
Ready? 1. Good. And 2. Good. Got a palm heel. My
Right.
hands are up.
Okay. Now, what should I do to counterbalance my bringing it up?
Okay, with your knee,
Yeah.
you're going to grab onto them.
Okay.
Okay? Always grab onto them and pull them into your weapon.
Okay.
That'll give you like the Big Bang thing. Twice the
Gotcha.
amount of force.
Okay.
Okay? So we have a knee and we have the foot stomp on the low line. Okay?
Yep.
We got palm heel on the high line.
All right.
Okay, this is just a few of the techniques. There's so many to go over. I'm just going to show a few today. Now, what I'm going to do is show you how you would use these.
Okay.
Okay, now, if I grab you, let's say with a bear hug underneath the arms,
Okay.
this way, what do you have available on the high side? I'm wide open. You have a palm heel.
I got a palm heel of your neck.
That's right, you
as
can
said.
strike into my
Under
nose.
your nose.
Or underneath the chin.
Okay.
Okay,
Underneath.
palm heel.
That
That's
way.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Try it again, underneath the nose
There way.
or underneath the chin.
That's it.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, that's on the high side. What do you have on the low side?
I got my feet.
You got your foot stomp, there you go.
Okay.
And also, what else do we have?
And my knee.
Knee to the groin, okay? Now that doesn't matter, I could grab you here. What do you have? Same
I
thing.
still have these
You still
on my
have the,
feet.
yep, you still have the
Okay, so I
palm,
can still
knee,
do that.
yep, you have the
and
knee to the
that.
groin, and you still have a foot stomp if your hands are up.
And that.
And again, sometimes you want to situate yourself in a self-defense situation. You might want to have your hands up as if saying, please don't hurt me. Now what am I doing? I'm putting my weapons closer to you, okay? If my hands are already down, well, sometimes there's no reason, because I will show people in the seminars, in the short course and the long course, how to use the hands on the low side, okay?
Okay.
Now, we did that from the front. Now let's go to the rear. If you turn around, now, it's going to be a little bit different. Now I'm grabbing underneath the arms. What do you have now? You get the foot stomp. Very good. Now let's say you get the foot stomp and I go, oh, geez, you hurt my foot. Now, let's see, you got an elbow, and you can turn around now and you can do the palm heel right to my face.
With
And
my
then if you
left.
finish, that's it. And then you can finish with a knee. Bam! A little Rambo there. Okay? But see, again, now this has just been a few minutes.
Right.
But again, over a course of a 3-hour seminar or a 6-week, I constantly keep working on your stuff that you can do right now. See, this is, what we want. We want stuff that we can do today. Okay? That's what self-defense is all about. Self-defense, you've got to look at it as, if you go into a shop and order a cup of coffee, okay, you're in a restaurant, you might be at the bus stop. You get that cup of coffee, you walk out to the bus stop, you're waiting. You now have a weapon in your hand. You have that hot cup of coffee. A lot of people don't think of self-defense like that. Self-defense is little tricks to use to get out of the given situation. Hot cup of coffee thrown into an attacker's face, maybe thrown into the groin area, okay? Just enough. If you have to use a follow-up technique, you do. If you don't, that might be enough, but make sure you leave and run.
Yeah.
Another important thing I teach women is I had, through many years of training, I had a hard time teaching women how to ki, which is mean to shout, to scream, when you hear people go, "Ay-ya!" Had a hard time doing that. So what I says, I want to teach women just to say no, okay? And when you say no, that's shouting. You're shouting no. Well, ki just means the shout of your spirit, okay? When you say no, and you say it loud, no! Now you're showing your fighting spirit, okay? And I found it much easier. So whenever you're going to defend yourself, remember to say no, okay? Nice down deep, no, okay? And that shows your fighting spirit. It's a lot more than just going up to someone and just doing the knee and saying, okay, and walking away. Okay? You want to show a little bit of fighting spirit, put a little fear into them,
Yeah.
okay? To overpower that,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
Now, one other thing I want to do is with the wrist. Whenever someone grabs you by the wrist, whether it be one hand or two hands, okay? If I grab her by the wrist here,
Yeah.
always try to break out towards the thumb. So you're going to pull out towards the thumb, okay? Pull. That's it. I'm going to grab you a little bit harder.
Okay.
And try it. Pull out towards the thumb. There you go. Harder. Good. I'm going to grab your two hands. That's it. Now, if you want to get a little bit more power, step back with your right foot. That's it. And again. Very good. Okay, I'm going to grab your two hands. Now, if I grab your two hands, reach in and grab this hand and then pull. That's it. And again. Good. Okay? See, little things like this you can learn right away. And
But I
you can
noticed
apply
that when I came up,
Mhm.
that my hands were up here.
Ready to
in
fire
the
back.
momentum. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the whole idea.
So then I could hit you with the palm.
heel
whatever.
strikes or some other hand strikes that I would go over in a longer course or even
Yeah.
in a short course. Or
that's
even your lower body weapons.
Mhm.
That's the idea in the self-defense situation, is try to do whatever it takes to get out of the situation and to run. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay?
Oh,
Any
yeah.
other questions at all?
Well, I've had a little training myself.
Mhm.
Back in high school, they had in phys ed they did this. And there was more, concentration on the face and what parts of the body that were sensitive. The eyes, okay, you could do the ears, hit the
Strike
ears.
the ears.
And they did talk about the foot,
Mhm.
but also scraping.
The shins.
Scraping the shins
Mhm.
and like dragging and scraping on surfaces of the skin could be very painful
It is.
and startling.
Mhm.
So, but the palms, they didn't get into that.
Mhm.
I mean, they were talking more about leverage and following through.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, with self-defense, there's a lot of things that I teach.
Mhm.
Again, sometimes, you have to remember, you might scrape someone's shin, you might have a pair of sneakers on.
Right.
Well, the effect you're going to get from a pair of hard leather-soled shoes and a pair of sneakers is going to be different. You might even be barefooted. Well, you can scrape my shin barefooted, pretty much they're going to laugh at you. So you're always going to be trained in all these follow-up techniques,
Mhm.
So you always have a lot of weapons to use, because again, you have to do whatever it takes. You might have to hit this person more than once in a self-defense situation in order to get out of it.
Right.
Sometimes you might not have to hit them at all. It might be just the mental aspect alone that wins. Okay? But
Screaming
again,
and running.
yes, screaming and running. Remember to scream. Another thing you want to remember is your voice is also a weapon. Okay? Your voice. Besides saying no, if you're in close, if I'm close to you, you can easily scream into my eardrum. Okay?
Right.
That doesn't. You could be standing up or on the ground. If I have you pinned on the ground, you can get at my eardrum. Just scream as loud as you can. That would disorientate him enough for you to use a follow-up technique.
Yeah.
Whether it be on the high side or the low side, depending on the situation.
Right.
So there's a lot of little tricks. I try to teach a lot of tricks because that's going to make up the difference in survival. As far as we don't always want to peer off and think of actually fighting the person. We don't want to fight anybody. You know, we want to use tricks to get out of the situation and escape unharmed.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
The other, when you gave me the first
Grab.
from the front, the first grab from the front, I almost had a natural instinct to give you a headbutt. I mean, you see that in the movies. Is that safe?
Yes, a headbutt is safe as long as you use the top of your head.
Okay.
You always want to concentrate using the top of the head. If you're doing a frontal headbutt, you're doing to the rear, it's okay to use the back of the head. Okay, the headbutt is good when your upper body weapons are shut down, and sometimes he's too tight to you to get in your lower body weapons. Okay? So now you get the high line, which is your head. Okay? The headbutt from the front, using the top of the head, which is very strong, will easily break the nose.
Right.
Okay? So that is a good technique. See, some of the stuff in the movie pays
Yeah,
off.
they do in the movies. That's part of it, though, too. You know, but there are some things that I've seen done in the movies. You know, all the fancy jumping and spinning. I think that people get the wrong impression
Exactly.
that is like a surprise attack. And actually, I don't know. I mean, from my point of view, I've always thought it's sort of like leaving yourself wide open once you've become airborne and you're attacking somebody that way.
All the fancy moves are strictly for television. People like to see that stuff. And again, some people think that's what the martial arts self-defense training is all about. That's why they say, oh, geez, I can't do that. I can't stretch like that. I can't kick like that. So they don't go. But again, self-defense has nothing to do with any type of fancy kicking. Again, it's tricks, it's mental training. It's just things that get out to avoid these situations is very important. Prevention, there is so much to it. But again, it's not high kicking. Also, when we're talking about that, the mental training that you do, okay, has to be done over and over and over again. So once they leave my seminar, I have them do little tricks that they can use at home, mental training, that they do over and over again, you know, for the rest of their lives.
Right.
So that way there, again, if they ever have to use it, it's there. Okay?
So you just train with women? Is that how that goes?
No, I
You
train
do
men,
train.
women.
Right. I
law
guess the
enforcement,
title of
children.
your academy is the
Modern Warrior
Modern
Academy.
Warrior Academy.
Mhm.
And where is that located again?
That's in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Excellent.
Lorne, one of the things we talked about is prevention. Could you show us a little bit how you teach someone? We got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
You know, how does she stand? How does she look? What is she supposed to do when she's walking through a parking lot, for instance?
Okay. Let's say you're walking into the parking lot. This is the Christmas season. Okay. So the malls are very busy. This is also a very good time of year for the thefts. Okay?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Big time. Okay. So as you're walking into the malls, okay, or walking into the parking lot, you want to walk with your head up. Okay. Here. Walk with your head up and survey the area. Look around you. When you're approaching your car, have your key ready. Single key ready. Don't get in front of the car and start searching the pocketbook. Again, they want to look at people who are, well, they might be having some children around you. They see you trying to mess with your children. You're not aware of your surroundings. This is when they will attack. Okay? Have your single key ready when you approach your car or when you're going home. All
And
right?
what if you got a big bundle of bags? I mean, is there a better way to carry your bags as you're going out?
What I would suggest is if you have a bunch of bags with you, okay, is to remember that this is also a weapon, you know. So again, be aware of your surroundings as you walk, but also know you're carrying weapons in your hands. If someone attacks you, give them the weapons, you know, and then do your follow-up technique and then go. Everything you have, and that's very important, everything you have, everything around you can be thrown. You see how hard it is to get on somebody when they're throwing something at you? If you got someone throwing cans of soup at you and pots and pans, I could be 20 years of martial arts, I can't get near them. This is what you have to think about, you know. This is what self-defense is all about, you know. But again, as you walk, portray confidence, not cocky, because you don't want to challenge. You want to look like you have an open challenge with somebody. You just want to walk and survey the area. Look around you as you walk. And this way here, they'll know that you see them. If you walk head down,
Yeah,
then they know. They know that you're being an easy victim.
okay.
It all comes down to, like the car you have, the home. It all comes down to, they're going to look at what's easier for them. If they approach a home and they see, alarm system in this home, no alarm system in that home, which one are they going to take? Obviously the one that's going to be easier for them. The difference might be, well, this one has a dog, this one has an alarm system. They're going to go for the alarm system. Why? Well, because the alarm system, they know, professional, they can do something with the alarm system. The dog is going to be a problem. It's going to make a lot of noise. They don't want that. They're going to have the alarm system.
So they gotta learn how to make a lot of
Exactly.
noise.
And that's what it comes down to, is you as a person.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they look at you and, oof, I see a little bit of problem there, and then they'll go for the next one. And eventually we'll all be trained, so it'll just keep going down the line where we won't have to worry about it anymore. Everybody will be very confident and be mentally and physically trained.
Well, Mike, you wanna finish
Well,
this up?
Yes, we have about probably a minute, 2 minutes the most. And I just wanted to thank you very much, Lorne, for Master Lorne Therrien.
Thank you.
And now I have to be careful on what I say to Jessica.
Just use a weapon now.
Actually, I get the feeling she was a weapon before you even came here today. And when I saw that, when she wanted to do that elbow.
Thinking of the headbutts.
But again, thank you very much for coming. And
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
And I wanted to, I wanted to thank everyone for watching FYI Foxboro, and I want to thank Jessica and Lorne for being here today.